You want this big piece? Mm. Eat the skin for your skin. I can't wait till one day go somewhere. Yeah. And get one straight off the tree myself. No one's forking a knife and a mango. Mm. 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 My mouth wet. My mouth is wet as fuck. That mango filled me up. I put it in my juicer and then I poured it in my cup. My cup. The raspberries I froze. Frozen. I put them in the blender. Blend. Now they are a smoothie. Gonna make a smoothie bowl. 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 She got juice on her fingers. One day you'll lick it off. If you playing your cards right. Then you can get her off.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the Eminem Show.
Hello there.
Hey.
Greetings. I am Madam Carmen.
And I'm Moe Rayna.
And this is the Eminem Show.
Hey.
Yeah.
M&M's are delicious as well.
Yes, I miss them. I can't have them anymore. But
they gonna make some for y'all one day.
One day. I liked the crispy ones. The ones that tasted like that candy bar that I liked. I can't think of it now. The crispy. The Rice Krispie bar.
Crunch.
The Crunch Bar. Yes. I like it's something.
Like,
that's why you know I haven't had candy in so long.
That is the only Rice Krispie Crunch bar I know about. Is that
one? But yeah. Enough of our tangents. Because we will go.
I swear to God. Turn into an episode of Unwrapped. Where the Crunch Bar came from.
The origins. But today we're going to be talking about submissive and dominant.
The
differences between like submissive and bottoms and dominant and tops.
Yeah.
Because they are not the same.
No.
At all. And I know a lot of people go into the lifestyle assuming that when you see somebody in a certain position or performing in a certain way, that you just automatically want to label them as one or the other and not really ask. So assumptions, we don't want to make asses of ourselves. So we want to kind of divulge and dive into this particular topic because we also want to make sure that people are aware when they go into play spaces, and as well as being able to be helpful resources for themselves to figure out what best aligns with them. Not saying that you have to sway one side or the other, because there is a such thing as a switch. And like I said, because submissive and bottoms, that does not equate to one another. They're not synonymous. Neither are dominant and top are synonymous. You can ascribe to all or one or neither.
So many so many titles can be had.
Like,
I feel like
literally.
as far as like just so many things are fluid, like most things in life. It's not just black and white. It's not just gray. It's like it's so many other colors. And I feel like something that a lot of people don't think about as well too is that a submissive can be in a top position and not be actually dominant or topping. Somebody can actually dominate a submissive and have them do something to them that is
I concur.
like would be like you say dominant to somebody first viewing it or even topping it to somebody first viewing it, but they're literally just doing exactly what they were told to do.
Yes.
Flog me
Being
800 times.
being an obedient sub.
Yep.
One of the personal experiences, well, not a personal experience, but I've had a conversation with a dom who reached out to me for pegging services. And when we had this conversation, we were talking about like, has this been something that you wanted to do? It's something that you want to be introduced to, or is it something that you've been, doing and participating in? He said he's been participating in it with his submissive, that he orders his submissive to peg him after they play, after he tops her or them or whoever. Then afterwards, his form of aftercare is being like slow stroked pegged, and I was like,
it sounds soothing.
sounds wonderful. I'm not gonna lie. Me
giving.
personally, I probably would like my pussy ate and my ass ate. That would be a great way to like aftercare me as a dom. But it was really a fascinating conversation that I had with this particular person. It put a lot of things in perspective for me. It wasn't something that you commonly hear, but I feel like it's very common. People just don't want to have to be ascribed to as something because of a certain position.
Yeah.
Same when it comes to pegging. Oh, like you being pegged, that means that you are bottom, that means that you are weak, that means you're submissive, that means that you're feminine, you're gay. Like there's so many different labels that people put on other people because of certain positions and roles and acts that they want to participate in, and that's not fair.
Yeah, that's why it's really cool for us to be able to have these labels ourselves. And like you say, I'm like, I don't like labels, but also labels really can make you feel like they help you find people who are of a similar wavelength as you. You know, that's easier to find somebody to play with, somebody to hang out with, somebody to connect with if you know that, oh, you a pan switch furry uh impact masochist, pain slut just like me or whatever, and that really does just help us out in the long run, as far as like not wasting our time with initiating something further past something, and we don't even have 5 things.
I feel like labels are empowering. um I know that, like you said, that people don't want to be labeled. Some people I've met and they're like, I don't want to ascribe to any label, which is fine.
It's because of what you said. A lot of the
Fluidity
times
is a label if you really want to be real with it. If you're open to certain things, it's important for us to recognize it and know. One of the analogies that I gave you is if I wanted a can of beans, and I'm like, hey, I want a can of kidney beans, and all of our beans that are in cans in our pantry right now, if they did not have labels on there, how would you know which can of beans to provide for me? You're going to open all of them up? Open up a can of beans. But like, are you gonna open all of them up and say, oh, these were black, these were white, these were Great Northern, these were black eyed, these are lima, until you get to the actual like kidney beans, and you mess up and mess around and get the pinto and still be like, dang, I still didn't get the one that she really wanted.
Golly.
And now we've wasted all of these cans of beans because the one that I really wanted was a kidney. And you're not gonna sit there and eat all them different beans. We can put them in a chili later, but the point of it is as a full circle back is that's the reason why labels matter. And I know that, like I said, and I even told you, like, I'm not saying that we're considering ourselves cans of beans, but in reality, that's why those labels matter for things. As being a vegan, I have to look at labels so I won't get sick. It's important, it's empowering for me to be able to know that I can advocate for myself as a human being to say, I don't want that because it contains this, or I would love that. I would love to have fun with you because you are a bottom. Like, and be able to know that, like you said, that's best, that helps us best find our tribe and navigate within the lifestyle, regardless of what lifestyle it is, whether it is the BDSM lifestyle, swinging, polyamorous lifestyle, like our non-monogamous lifestyles, like being able to kind of know Like I said, you can ascribe to all of them. You can ascribe to just one. You can still be uncertain and still know that it's something that it's still part of your journey, that you have those options. Exactly. It's wonderful knowing that. We talked about that with my aunt when I was talking about being the asexual.
It's representation.
Yes, basically. That and matters.
That's exactly, because if you are a dom who does like to be pegged or get
bottomed,
get spanked, or do anything that is of bottoming position, a lot of people will themselves label you as
a submissive.
And that's not the case. No. That's somebody receiving pleasure in the way that they like to receive it, and that's like dominant as hell.
Yes, as I said, it's control. So empowering.
Control of your pleasure is one of the best things about our lifestyle and learning all the different things that we have access to, as far as, like you say.
I myself, as a dominant, ascribe to bottoming. It depends on who it is for me. My primary partner, I bottom for him. And the beauty of it is me being a dominant, he's like, tell me what to do. How do you want to be topped? Like, and I like that versus it being like, oh, I got this dominant in this role, so now I can dominate her. That's not what we're doing. There is no yes sir, no sirs in our exchange. There is no mantras. There is no repetition in tasks. There isn't any of those different things. There's no countdowns unless I say, hey, I want you to spank me 20 times. Then we're counting that, right? But when it comes down to how we, are active and engage and, exchange that energy, I do enjoy, bottoming in that way. As far as even spanking, that was something that he was really like skeptical on, because he's like, you don't get spanked. Even at my birthday party, I was like, you got to give me my birthday licks. Like, I would like for you to give me my birthday licks. I'm going to put myself on this cross. I set myself up, that's just for me. There may be a dom that's like, I want you to put my hands in cuffs and strap me to chair, cross, a bench, whatever. So being able, like you said, to have those different options available for you, and being able to be in a space where you can be vulnerable and feel safe is super important. So I feel like out of even no matter if whether you're a submissive, a bottom, a master, a dominant, a sub, a slut, a slave, whatever, a little, like you, whatever you ascribe as or ascribe to, that's your prerogative. And like, it's super. Me as a dom, I would prefer I would prefer you are self-aware in that way. Yeah. Like when it comes down to you, when we've had our conversations and establishing ourselves to be in each other's lives, we had the conversation and you told me the type of dom that you want. I wasn't over here like, I'm gonna try to be that for her. Or, no, you need me. I'm a dominant. You need me as your dom. It wasn't that. It was like, oh, I recognize that this is something that she would like for herself. But then also there were moments where we had conversations where, hey, madam, when I'm in this space with here, I'll be your submissive, or, I'll be of service to you in any way that you need during these moments. Bottom. Exactly. So that's where those identifiers really set the tone for being able to establish the type of dynamics and type of interactions that you can have with people. I like that.
Yeah, I definitely remember us having that, and I feel like we had a nice conversation. It's ongoing too, as far as like, I'm the vessel.
Yeah.
Like, if Madam needs me for a performance or anything, like scene, anything pretty much, if she's like, I'm I want to use your body for this activity, and I'm very open to that, and that's forever pretty much. I told you can grope me forever. That's still valid, and that's one of those things that I feel like um, I don't know. I think that's something that people don't know about until you're in the lifestyle, that you can have conversations like that with people and talk about ongoing things.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and then come back and be like, oh, but then I changed my mind maybe about this, but this is still the same.
That's the
like,
checking
and
in.
that's those things that
Yeah.
we do in the lifestyle that I feel like could be like put towards everything, as far as relationships go, because most dynamics, even if it's not a power exchange type of dynamic, still have changes within the relationship, and y'all grow. Things outside of y'all change and make things differently, sometimes in different positive and negative, however that goes, and you yourself can navigate around that and negotiate with that person and be like, this is what I like now, and they'll be like, this is what I like now. I was a top then, now I'm a dom, and maybe I want to try this. Are you into that now? I was a sub, I don't feel like I want to serve now. Now I just feel like a bottom. I just want to be used.
Yeah.
And not have those, to me, responsibilities come with submission and dominance that aren't the same as being a bottom and a top. A bottom and a top is more so, how we talk about as far as service bottoms. That's a different term as far as being of service at a play party or in different situations where that's your title, bottoming and topping. But being a bottom and a top, like, for me, I love those titles. I don't want to be a dominant, and I only want to submit to someone, like how you were talking about as far as Madam. I have a list. I'm not gonna talk about it on here,
That's why I
but
didn't go into
it's
details.
very much serious to me. I don't just submit to anyone, and I don't serve really anyone. I do bottom for Madam, Daddy Hef, and a few other people consistently whenever I see them, because I have fun with them and I love them and I love exchanging energy and playing with them. But it's very serious to me, the act of submission and service. And yeah, so at this time, I consider myself a switch, and I'm a sub leaning switch. I bottom. I love to bottom, and I top with people when I feel that energy.
Yeah.
And I like those titles for myself. A lot of the times people assume because of how I look that I am a dom, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And that's something that a lot of Black women deal with. And I feel like, especially if you're like somebody, I dress like a dude. Sometimes I'm androgynous. Like, I'm a shave sides and stuff. And they're immediately, I'm like, you didn't see me beating anybody. I don't even post the clips
yourself
of when I'm topping like that. The clips I have posted of me topping be like me pegging for the most part.
Well,
and it be me fucking women. It don't be me hitting men and doing certain things that y'all be approaching me for. I be baffled. But that's that assumption of, oh, you perhaps have that energy of and want a dom. No, I don't want to do that. And there's so many people that don't want to do that. Kudos to the people that do.
yeah,
because it is an ongoing, like, lifestyle. Like,
it's ongoing practice.
it's a practice. Exactly, it's a practice, just like how I practice yoga, and I fall off of that sometimes. If you a dom, you can't do that when you have a sub. You can't fall off your dominance with a submissive.
No,
you have a
that's
person
like being a doctor
in your care.
Yeah, it's like being a surgeon and then in the middle of surgery. Yeah, you know what? I don't feel like I want to be a nurse today.
This is too intense for me.
Where's the nurse? Can we switch?
Yo, and the nurse is like, I've been waiting for this actually. But no, like, exactly, it's exactly like that. I feel like, in people really, to me, as far as being subs and doms, take that lightly. Mm-hmm. People who want to be a sub, you don't want to be no sub. No. You don't want to serve for real. No.
You want to receive pleasure. You want a bottom, and that's okay. Man, I would rather for you to recognize this and be honest with yourself as well as others. But being honest with yourself first puts it puts the foundation down for you to be able to communicate that with other people. You know, one thing I did want to add to what you were saying, as far as like people assuming that you are dominant, that leads to that conversation we talked about the masculinization of Black women. And I think that also plays a role into you're taller than me. You know, your stature is much taller than me. Your legs are longer than mine. There's so many things where people will look, and regardless of what I have on and what we have on, there could be moments. I don't know if this has happened or not, but there could be moments where people will see us and be like, "Oh, Moe's must be the dom," because of like the physicalities of what you look like, even like your darker skin. You know, being able to look at it from that perspective and be like, "Oh, she's a Black dom goddess supremacy." African,
literally out
all
here.
of that, yeah. So that fetishization, and like masculinization of Black women is another reason why. But I could be honest with you too. Black men experience this too. I've had conversations with Black men, especially Black men that are in Europe, in the UK, and Black men that are in the UK who really would love to be in a submissive role, not just to play and just be like, I want to be, I want to see the pleasure of it. They actually truly want to serve, and they really want to commit to a dominant. But because they are dark skinned, they have muscles, they're tall, their stature is a stocky, they can look like football players. And they said the assumption of that is, oh, you're a dominant. And they automatically are put into positions of having to dominate people. And I remember talking to this particular guy, and he told me that has happened to him, to where he met up with the lady, and he thought that I said the part of the negotiation didn't go too well, but he said that they met up and he thought that he was about to be dom, and she's like laying on the bed like, I want you to spank me with that and do this to me, this and the other. Like, these are my safe words, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, so we came here for the same thing. It's like two two submissives in the room. What happens? And he said, and I told him, I said that also is like to me, can not that particular situation, but a lot of times that assumption can lead to consent violations, because I didn't consent. As if I was a submissive and you're like, you know, if I'm a submissive and you're telling me to dominate you, that ain't what I came in here for. And now you're like trying to basically force hand me to do something to you, and that's not something that I want to do. And him telling me like he's had to he's had to receive the pleasure. He enjoys pegging, and now he's penetrating everyone. And he's like, I don't even want to use my penis. I want to lock it up. And I'm like, it really is unfortunate. I wish I was in Europe, like to be able to help guide you in that, down that path, even if it's just you bottoming for me and you being able to find the right dom for you. That is another thing too. Just because I'm a dominant does not mean I'm your dominant. Does not mean that I'm the dominant for you. There are different styles of domination and different styles of dominance. There's findom. There's masters. There's so many different levels and intricacies of domination as well as submission that we need to make sure that we recognize, making sure that we are the right fit. As far as Toy being my submissive, we that was something that we formulated together. Me asking her, me seeing her, and her loyalty to me and her servitude to me. It wasn't that, oh, she's fine as hell. She's fine as hell. But it wasn't just, oh, she's fine as hell. She's a lesbian. She'll do what I say. And she like is super like nurturing. She's super domestic. It wasn't any of those. It was the way that she treated me, especially during times where I was in my most vulnerable states, when a lot of people didn't even know or see things, and she didn't look at me outside of me being Madam Carmen. She wasn't like, she's humanized me, but it wasn't like, oh, you're a dom, you're supposed to be strong all the time. She sat there and was like, you have a right to feel however you feel. Do you need anything? And I'm like, yes, a hug, hold me, cuddle me, and like rock me like a baby. And she's like, yes, madam. And it wasn't like I thought this supposed to be my role. It was just an automatic knowing that she needed to be there for me. And that was like how we been able to establish our relationship as dom and sub. So that is something that's super duper sacred. Like you said, it's not something that should just be easily or playfully like talked about or negotiated or agreed upon. It's something that it's like getting married. It's a commitment.
Motherfuckers have collars on their necks.
Literally.
Like, unless they get them cut off.
Yes.
Like, type shit. When they really
facts.
be, you know, certain positions. I've seen a few of them ring collars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's funny that you say that too, because I remember Toy having to go off on someone because somebody commented on a post because I had ring on a collar that I was wearing, and they were like, "How are you a dom with a submissive collar on?" First and foremost, let's talk about the like. This is jewelry too. This is a form of fashion. It is a leather fashion. It is a alternative style of fashion. So it was something that I remember. She caught it before I did. And she was like, "How dare you?" Like she could wear what, as her being a dom, she can wear whatever she wants. Like the ring isn't being used in that way. And I think that that's something that people need to recognize. You having a tie does not mean that you work in a white collar job. You wearing a tie does not mean that you have a penis or that you are a man or that you ascribe to being masculine or a man. You have a tie. That's how you accessorize your outfit. And I feel like that's something too that we have to recognize, because you see that a person has a collar on. Don't make that assumption when you see me at a play party. Madam has a collar on. She must be a switch. She must be in her sub energy today. No. Mm-mm. I feel like it went good with the outfit.
They do.
Thank you.
Collars, that's what I don't wear collars to put no leash on there. Ain't nobody walking me, even as a
I think we had this
as a
conversation.
bottom. I'm not that kind of pet. I'm a horse, if anything. But yeah,
I love
it
that.
doesn't even if you were a dom who did have a leash on, that's why I feel like I like the kind of, I don't know what to call it because I haven't been in the community for 20 years or nothing like that, but I feel like I like seeing when doms show their pussies and don't feel like that takes away from their dominance. I like when I see doms who are full nude and doing their stuff, like, and that's because that shouldn't take away from your dominance. That has nothing to do with dominant energy, fully clothed or not. You are that. Like you said, if you motherfucking evaporate right now, you're gonna be a steam of dominance. Like your dominant essence is what literally that's what that shit is. Yeah. That's how you can feel when you a sub bottom, when you a, I mean, of all calibers, because doms being this whole like dom, ooh. Like we feel that energy for real, for real. You feel it. People can say they're a dom and you feel like, no, you're not. You're a top and it's okay. You're doming me right now and I'm over here like, hit me hard telling you what to do, bro. I'm topping from I have topped about 5 doms from bottom. Specifically men, DOMS. And yeah, that's to me one of those things, you know. We don't all have to hold the title.
No.
And it's really cool to me as far as like being a top and a bottom where you could be able to fluctuate. And being a sub and a dom you can too, but to me being a top and a bottom you can fluctuate too. Now I feel dom, now I feel sub. Sub, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna bottom now. No, like you signed a contract, you submitted, you said you was serving, bro. And in both ways, like I said, you can't just quit. You can't just simmer, and it has to be a whole like discussion.
There's a whole negotiation
about
process
after that, like if y'all want to do things differently.
So the last thing we're gonna touch base on just quickly is, what is it like for you to navigate as a bottom and a bottom top exchange? And then I'll talk about me navigating as a dom and a dom sub exchange, so people can kind of have an understanding of the difference and the responsibilities.
Me navigating as a bottom with someone I don't know. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Someone I don't know. When I go to a play party, when I'm doing some pickup play, I introduce myself. We exchange the information. So it's kind of like when you meet somebody at the club, a little bit like that. Yeah. Except I'm not drinking, and I really don't approach anybody that's drinking because the play parties I go to, they put that on the list. You don't drink and play. And I'm not going to talk to somebody that's drinking because I'm trying to play. So I go and talk to this person. We exchange information. I have a list that Madam made for me. Not made for me, but had me make some years back. And it's my boundaries and my kinks, my limits and kinks list that basically is all of that. Everything that I like, everything that I might like, everything that I don't like at all, don't ever do that to me, is on this list. So I'm able to pull that out when I'm in a play party and show that to somebody in their face, airdrop it, whatever. You can see this right now. Um, if they agree, that they want to engage with me. If they don't, then we go about our ways, or we might talk. It just depends on what's going on. But if they do, this is a situation we're just gonna assume that they do. They want to do things in this in this scenario. After I show this the kinks and limits list, they're able to pick some things. After I show them my list, I like to let them pick like 5 things from it that we align with. If they want to, however much, it's whatever they're into. But I like to give that option of like 5 things that you might align with that are on here that you may feel like you want to engage with tonight. And we go from there as far as discussing our their do's and don'ts, as far as where we don't want to be touched, where we do want to be touched.
That's important.
Me, I'm I'm telling them they can hit me hard, that I like pain for the most part. That's important to mention that. To me, just off top, they might not want to do that, but it just puts it out there that you
Right.
can do that if you want to. You don't have to be as trepidatious with me, even though it is our first time playing. I am a masochist and I do love pain and I know my colors. And speaking of that, I give them my traffic light colors. I say, what kind of system do you use for your safe words? Do you use a safe word? Blue, blue, blue. And I'm like, I use traffic light system. And I hope that they use that too.
Most times they
Because
do.
that's so easy
Yeah.
to remember. We all from childhood have basically known green, yellow, red. Like we
Yeah.
learned that on Sesame Street and
Yeah.
shit. So it's just a really cool way, universally, I feel like, to be able to remember the terms that you need to either I'm good, green, yellow, slow down, red, stop the scene. And once we go over those, um, I feel like some people ask me about my health. Sometimes I just tell them because I've learned that from you, as far as telling them I don't have any positions.
Like pre-existing health conditions.
Pre-existing anything, yeah, nothing you can. I already spoke about telling them where they can touch me. If to me, if you're a top who knows what they're doing, I'm really not in here trying to tell somebody don't hit me in my not safe zone, so I don't really approach that. If you do that, I'm just never gonna play with your ass again.
Yeah.
If you hit me in my hip bone or some shit like that, sometimes people slip.
That's a whole nother thing.
Sometimes, nigga, you don't know what you're doing, and
Literally.
you're hitting in the wrong spot. And we also talk about aftercare. I ask, as a bottom, what my top would like for aftercare. I saw somebody like 3 years or something ago, 4 years maybe, like talk about this, and I asked you, like, I asked anybody that I'm bottoming for, like, what would you like for aftercare? Because I feel like as a bottom, we're always getting asked that, because that is a part of like bloop, 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 bloop. Negotiations don't really be like, hey, bottom, ask the top what they want as well. As a sub, you are serving, you're dominant, so that's kind of like in y'all's discussions that y'all have had. As a top, they don't really get that question.
Yeah.
More so service top, do your job type shit, I feel like, a lot of the time. So I like to ask them that. Sometimes they want a massage, sometimes they don't want nothing. Sometimes I could bring them a water or something like that, but it really does make me feel good to be able to give back when they've
Yeah.
given me
Reciprocate.
some pleasure. Exactly. I love reciprocation. It's just so fun. Like now we both feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
We're both fulfilled. I love to like hug and stuff if they want to hug, and we talk about it after a little bit and just lay and cuddle. I like to cuddle with my blanket and stuff. Exactly. Um, and that's how I do that. And sometimes I might get they fet and some information after. Sometimes I might never see them again. I miss that one dude. He beat the hell out of me. Then moved to Seattle. That's the only white man I ever let like wail on me for real. At a play party.
Yeah.
With my belt.
Mm-hmm.
Whooped my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call me a bed wench. They gonna do it. I just know they are.
He's supposed to be for the black man.
I just knew her nerdy ass like crackers. I knew it. Oh man, but yeah, that's how I do. I had that discussion with him. He had a partner, and that was fun too.
Yeah.
As far as like talking to her, I spoke to her as well too before I played with him, just to get comfortable.
Yeah, with
playing with her man.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's awesome. As far as me being a dominant and having a sub, or have had subs too, I have had multiple subs, and the I don't know how long now, almost 20 years of being in this lifestyle. But for me, as far as the way that I establish um, a dynamic, a power exchange dynamic with a potential sub, and first off, we start off with them being potential, and that is, yes, I am aware that you are a submissive. I am aware, and you are aware that I am a dominant. Now let's see if this works. Like for you, you said it's like you being going into a bar and getting to know somebody. It's like that, but it's like just a step higher because now we're trying to commit. Y'all are dating. You know, us, we're like, we're trying to find a relationship and see if this is long term and the longevity within this. Not saying that a bottom and a top can't have longevity.
No, because they can.
Yes, absolutely. But there is no deep sacred commitment to it. It's more of like casual.
It can be, I feel like, still even
as far as tops and bottoms and stuff, it's not that. It's not the sacredness of like the power exchange. It's more of just like a commitment to each other and doing partners.
Different things. That's exactly. We're play partners, exactly.
Yeah.
And that can have strong commitments, but it's exactly like you say, being a dom and a sub.
Yeah, there's this level up to it because of the power exchange. Now, understanding that the similarities in what you said and what we do is we still have our list of kinks, limits, boundaries. Kinks, limits, and fetishes. We discuss those different things. Even if it's something that on either of our lists that does not align, that's perfectly fine. That's where we have those negotiation processes of, if you may need to bottom for someone else to get that fixed, or if I need to top someone else to be able to get that fixed. If my submissive says, yeah, I'm not really into feet, all right, well, just know that, this is something that I, as as a dominant, like desires, I will probably have a foot bottom, someone, or a foot sub, that would pleasure me in that way and bring that pleasure, and they're pleasured by that as well. So we have those negotiation processes. Now we talk about dom sub contracts. These contracts are not legal. These are not legal contracts, but these are a great way for us to have an understanding and really set a foundation and a tone for how we're going to navigate within this dynamic. This contract can discuss those kinks, limits, and fetishes. It can discuss the safety protocols that we use, safe words, trigger words, task, mantras, what else that we have on there? If it's certain requirements and expectations, I love for my submissive to wear black when we are playing. I love for my submissives to say, yes, madam, there is no ma'am. All of these different things will be tied and entailed in detail in that particular contract, that a particular agreement. So it's always referenced if ever it is not practiced. So if my submissive was to be like, yes, ma'am, or yes, or okay, then I'm like, do you remember what we discussed? Or, we kind of revert them back, reference them back for them to have an understanding as far as what that means and what that like represents. And that's really important to me. That's a show of respect. And for both of us, we have to understand what those levels of respect and reciprocity are when we are engaging and when we are together. What does this mean? What are you looking for as a submissive? Are you looking to be a live-in submissive? Do you want to live and serve me in that way? Are you a domestic submissive? Are you a like uh, what do I want to say? A masochistic submissive? Is it something that you need? Are you a spanko? Like these are a lot of different things. Do you want somebody to or a more therapeutic as far as like counseling, mentorship, guidance in that way? I feel like with my submissive now with Toy, or I call her my maiden, even with that, giving her a specific name, title, role, we have that understanding. People may not understand that, and that's perfectly fine. I actually like that people don't like. Why does she call her maiden? Because that's what I call her, but it's a history behind that. I'll sometimes even be like, "You and your milf era, you my milf today," um, and I like being able to do that. That's something that we have negotiated, and that's like the sacredness. It's kind of like those pet names that you hear people in their relationships and those committed relationships have with one another. Honey, dear, stuff like that. Um, so when we are having those negotiation processes, all of those things are included. All of the things that you talk about as far as topping and bottoming is lapped up in there too as well. The aftercare process, what is it that's needed? For me, what the difference is too is like you said, you're going to a play party and you just meeting someone, you have to tell them that. I don't have to tell them anything because they already should know. And then if they don't remember, there is a such thing as a punishment. So that is also discussed. What is within that? What is within our boundaries that we could discuss that could be a form of punishment for you. Spanking is more a reward nowadays with these particular bottoms. So as far as Toya is concerned, she will do the same thing that this one does over here and be like, Spanx? Oh yeah, I will disobey because I want the Spanx because that's the punishment. That may not be the punishment. I remember it was a time that I, and Toy went to the grocery store and she got excited because thought she was gonna get some ice cream, and I said, "You cannot have any ice cream," and she sat there and was like, "Damn, yes, madam." And I remember you being like, "She can't have no ice cream? No, she cannot have any ice cream because she didn't do what she's supposed to do." And nobody can say anything about that. That's wrong. She's an adult. Doesn't matter. That's not within our contractual agreement. That is not something that you are aware of because you're not within our power exchange. You're not within our dynamic. That's perfectly fine. All of our dynamics are different. So for me, my dynamic with Mo is different than my dynamic with Toy. Toy's dynamic with Mo is different than their dynamic with me. So understanding that that was a ground rule. Even with, if I tell Toy, make sure that you work out and stretch every day for 45 minutes to an hour. The honesty and the transparency is super important to build that trust. I want to be able to trust you. I want to be able to, I even want you to take a step ahead and take the initiative to say, Madam, this morning at 10 a.m., I did 45 minutes of stretching. And then I kind of walked around the neighborhood for 15 to 30 minutes. Great. Thank you for telling me. I don't want to have to keep asking you. So these are things that are expected of me. I'm expected of my submissives for my pleasure, for my sake, and for my end of the bargain, because now I can reciprocate and give you a reward. There is not just punishment, there are rewards to your acts and to your behavior and to your decisions. And that's what I enjoy and love. It may be those spankings, it may be the ice cream, it may be some butt rubs, it may be a nice cuddle and a hug, so it just depends on what we negotiate. The aftercare process is set after we set a scene. And the thing about dominance and submission to those particular types of relationships, it's not all play, it's not all engaging in um kinks and fetishes all the time. This is lifestyle for us too. There is also that difference too. Then you have a lifestyle dom and sub relationship where Toy does not live here, but every day I have to check in on her. She has to let me know what's going on. If there's any changes in her life. Toy, my submissive, is a mother and a grandmother. I am not. She has a responsibility to other humans. There are other people who depend on her. And I have to make sure that she's communicating with me what's going on with that. So for me, it's, oh yeah, this is my daughter did this. Okay, do you need help with that? Do you need any advice on that? What's going on? What do I need? What can I do to help? That's where I play in that as far as her lifestyle. Some of your submissives may not be mothers or grandmothers or fathers or uncles or whatever. They just may be who they are, and they may not have a responsibility to other humans, and that's fine. But that's just how our life. That's how our dynamic is, and within our tribe there. So, like I said, that's where those differences are. And then you also have your service tops and your service bottoms. And I love those too because they play a major role in my life as for service tops, like what you were saying as far as you being able to play with Daddy Hef. Daddy Hef is a service top 2 toy. So when I'm not there, and Daddy Hef will come and say, "Hey, I would like to engage and have a scene with Toy. How do you feel about that? These are the things that we're going to do. That sounds great." And then sometimes I may add my little 2 cents in there and say, "Make sure that you will on her a little bit harder today because I've noticed that her pain thresholds have lessened, and I want to make sure that we're building up those pain thresholds. I don't want her to regress in her process with me because she hasn't seen me in a while. So can you well on her a little bit more, or make sure you give her a countdown. Make sure she has her stuffy. Remind her to bring her stuffy because she may forget. These are things that, as a dom, that's part of my responsibility to make sure that I also advocate for her. She can advocate for herself, but I also am there to make sure that I'm dotting I's and crossing T's with her along the way. And that's super duper important. Protected. That makes them feel, I would say, makes them feel safe. It makes them feel protected. It makes them feel considered. I show compassion. I show empathy. I show love. I show nurturing. I show authority. I show discipline. All of those things play a role in making someone's life better overall. It's not just you're here to serve me. I'm a dom. Get on your knees and do these particular types of things. That's not how my particular relationship is with my sub. Even the subs that I've had prior to Toy, that is different. You know, it's how I would serve. I had a sub that would, every time I would come over for us to have our scenes, he would serve me with a tray of an array of dildos that we want to play with. Madam, I've washed them, I've cleaned them, I've dried them. Here they are. And then another tray with grapes and fruits, and then also like different types of toppings and dippings that I can use. And the room would be decorated. The environment would be set, like the scene would be set for us, the sounds, the music, what he's wearing. If I haven't, he's always will ask me like, what is this, something that you want me to wear in particular? I want you to wear black. Can I wear black fishnets, madam? Yes. Which fishnets would you like for me to wear? Bigger hole, smaller hole? Actually, I want you to wear the bigger hole, and give me some that I can rip. That you don't care about. These are things that is such a big difference. So I want to make sure that we understand the differences between the submissives and the bottoms and the tops and
because ain't nobody telling me what to wear.
Not yet.
No, you right.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet. Because when you find that dom,
I swear,
I'm gonna be like, "Why are you wearing pink today?" My dom told me I had to wear pink today.
Pink.
That's a form of punishment.
Yo, I swear to God. I swear to, don't tell him. If he was in this bitch like, you ain't do that, you gotta wear yellow. Oh my God.
Oh, for a week.
Cause like you say, you can't spank me.
No.
You can't hurt me. Any kind of pain, deliverance, of punishment. Even if you make me kneel on the rice and do that shit's gonna be terrible for me. But I'm being so like, I can do anything.
But it's the things because of the fact that also too keep in mind that there is this difference between
you gotta
the behaviors.
Know the people.
You're bratty, she's not.
You literally have to know the people.
Literally.
If you make me wear yellow, bro,
she's gonna have a temper tantrum.
Now I'm gonna do the things. Now I'm gonna have to make sure
I should have called like I was supposed to call at 10.
I swear to God.
I shouldn't have waited until 10:05. I thought I had time.
You're not gonna catch me slipping at all.
Literally. That's how you learn that lesson, and that's how you train them up. That's when people talk about doms and sub relationships relationships and dynamics is training them up. It's not just training them up on being able to increase their pain thresholds, but it's training them up mentally as well and structurally. There are things that could be, if Mo came in, I know so much about this particular human that she can talk herself out of doing something that she knows she needs to do. And me knowing that as a dom, I'm not her dom, but I will ask. You said that you weren't gonna eat cheese anymore. Well, today I said I felt like I was gonna do it, and I'd be like, okay. And then she'll come to me and be like, you know what, I was thinking about it, and I maybe shouldn't have had that. I'm not gonna have that cheese today. I thought about what you just because you asked, and that's the types of things that like, as me being a top to her, and just having that, and then also like our relationship is not just being top and bottom. So having that responsibility of her being my nesting partner and being one of my partners in our polyamorous tribe is for me to make sure that she is held accountable to the things that she decides to say. If she changes her mind, that's perfect. I'm like, okay. But the thing about her that I love is she'll be like, what about when you asked me that about 5 minutes ago? And I decided I'm not going to do it. And I'd be like, I'm glad that you made that decision and that you figured that out on your own. And that's all that I want to do. I don't want to have to always be in charge. That's another thing too that we can get into, but we got a little bit of we only got that much time. But the last thing I'll say is just because you are dominant don't mean that means you have to possess a harem of subs. That's also something that we can get into later, but that's something that is not necessary. I don't need to have a responsibility of a whole bunch of different people. That's like having 12 kids. I don't know. That's just, I'm good. But till next time, you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I am very happy that we were able to have this conversation though, because I guess I do have some. This is a little bit. I'm ready to eat. I very much think that this was a conversation that needed to be had just because there's so many people who are not in the lifestyle as well, and this could help you understand somewhat of the different intersections and the different titles, like she said, that people hold and how those all come together for people to play in the way that they play and live the lives that we live. And yeah, it's not just dom and sub. There's other things, and there's other things. We didn't even just talk about those.
We didn't get into all of those different things, but this is just a nice little basis,
condensed version, and we condensed it as much as we could.
Yes,
it could be 3 hours.
If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Feel free to go and reach out to us on our socials. Don't blow up the DMs and be like, I can be your sub. I can do this. I can be your dom because you said you didn't want it. Yes. We don't need all of those, but I just want to make sure that we have an open door policy of any questions or any advice, any tips, because we do have a little bit of experience in this lifestyle.
To talk about this more, comment, send tributes. If you know what that is, you know what that is.
Buy us some coffee. I heard that somewhere. Buy us some coffee.
Wink, wink. I'm over here like, I don't even like coffee. Give me some money. She's just wink, wink. Buy us some coffee.
Buy us some coffee.
We're not whores.
All right, y'all. Until next time, happy kinking. And put some consent on it.
Always.
Bye.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the Eminem Show.